year 2013 came. I named it She's a Mother. Yes. So some part of this year technically started in 2012 because, pregnancy is 9 months. When we had first gotten married, we wanted to wait 2 years before we had children. So anyways, on July 2012, we found out that I was pregnant. See the oh my God! Wow! Shock in our faces. What? Like people that did not know what they did. We were shocked. Yeah, my pregnancy was a breeze, except for the beginning. But other than that, food. Until February 26, 2013. That date is ingrained in me. That's the first time that I found that I have protein in my urine. For those who don't know, protein in your urine in pregnancy is a sign of preeclampsia. Not gonna go into it, you can look it up. But basically, it's not good. Preeclampsia, you don't want to have preeclampsia. So my doctor wasn't worried at the time because my blood pressure was still okay, because it's the two symptoms, protein in urine and blood pressure. So they weren't too worried because my blood pressure was... But because every time I was tested, I was being tested every week now, and it was still going with urine. So my doctor decided to give me basically a container in which I was supposed to pee in for 24 hours to see how much protein I was actually producing. After they tested that, my goodness, it was, I don't know if it was 3 or 4, it was an exorbitant amount above what it was supposed to be. So he sent me for an NST, a non-stress test. That test was actually on March 21st, 2013. We went for the non-stress test, and as we went there, everything was fine. I went to do the ultrasound to see baby's position. They found out that baby was breech, which was another bummer because my doctor told me that the baby's head was down. But anyways, so now that I did all the tests, and then when I came back, for some reason my blood pressure started going up. I remember the nurse showing me, see, this number is too high. I didn't know what it meant at that time, but like I said, this number here is too high, so we don't want you to have high blood pressure. They said they were going to induce me, but the thing is, because they found out that the baby was breech, the C-section was the best route for me. I refused. I vehemently refused. But then they called my husband aside. They said, you can lose them both. Hubby said, new wife, new baby, lose? He came, please, mama, I'm gonna sign, okay? I don't want you to die. Anywho, signed the papers. Next thing I know, I went to the OR, and at 13:10 on March 21st, Hadassah Carissa was born. That's so beautiful. We're parents. I went into recovery, and then I remember we took our first picture as a family of 3 with me in the bed from the recovery room. It was really beautiful. What started just as a regular day, as a regular doctor's visit, turned out finished with us being parents. It was wonderful. And my baby was actually due on my sister's birthday. That was March 29, but she was born on my other sister's birthday, March 21st. And I just wanted to have the same birthdays as my sisters. So I started navigating motherhood with C-section. We didn't have a place to live at the time, so we moved in with our pastor. They gave us a place to live for it was a month, and this was at that time I was dealing with the fact that I felt that the C-section was a failure because of everything that I hear. The Hebrew woman. When I start talking about this thing, you don't want me to get into it. But anyhow, because of that, because my brain was wired like that, I still felt that I still looked at that day as the day that I was cut open. Yes, I love my baby. Yes, I was breastfeeding her fully, but I couldn't shake that feeling of this was the day I was cut open. Prior to that, I had never been hospitalized. I like, even the nurse, when she was going through my OR checklist, she's like, "Wow, you're a healthy girl." I'm like, "Yep, I'm healthy. I don't do nothing." And then all of a sudden, I am in the OR. I'm being cut open to give birth to my baby that I could have pushed. I was so sad. But that's why I have become the person that I am today, because a lot of women are dying because we have it in our minds that there's only one way to skin a cat. No, you don't. One way of becoming, just because you had a C-section doesn't make you less of a mother than somebody that pushed. And then there's now another debate of, can you take a epidural or not? You know the thing about life, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. You don't have to suffer. That's why we have the meds. If you don't want to suffer, because you're going to go through the pain of labor, if you don't want to suffer through it, take the dang medication. You're not less of a mother. Not at all. Not at all. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. This is not what we're talking about here, but this is just shows you how the passion that I have about that, because of what I went through. It took me months to get out of that funk that, oh my God, look at me, I have a cat, I'm not a mother like another mother because labor did not start, I did not have labor. When I tell you, those first few months, I went to look around if there's a way to give birth vaginally after a C-section. That's when I found out what BAC was. But at the same time, it was so unhealthy for me because of the mental state I was in, because of what's been inculcated in my head. So I am here to help you unlearn certain things, because I know the suffering I suffered because of that. Okay? Anyways. And that concludes 2013. She's a mother! Woo!